We were lucky in New Jersey. Winter came and went without much snow. That led to a very early fishing season. We were on the water by March. Here are some of the trips for our early spring fishing.
Right now I'm just throwing a 4-inch Senko, wacky bait with a 2-aught Gamakatsu hook into this brush pile. During the pre-spawn, it's about 10 feet here. During the pre-spawn, they like to relate to these areas adjacent to shallow spring spawning flats, so I'm hoping there's some holding up in here. It's been tough early though.
Hi, this is Bill Perino here for The Real Deal. We're in beautiful Sussex County at Swartswood Lake today, and what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some walleye, some smallmouth bass, and largemouth bass. We're going to start with some jigs, maybe spinner baits, and you know, see what happens there. The water's 55 degrees, so we're going to have to work for our fish today. So we'll get back to you. Got a jaw tag.
What I like about the poppers. Yeah, there he is. They're not that big, but you know what? It's a slow start. Like Bill said earlier, the water, it's 55. Out of Mr. Bass here. We'll put him back in the water. Little male bass, probably. Swartswood Lake. Keeping it real. First bass on the pop R. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was throwing the pop R right to the dock and working it right back to the kayak. And they're holding up under there. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to cast a little more and see if there's a bigger one. Every angler I ever fished with, they have a strong suit. A lure that's their go-to bait, that they have 100% confidence in. And with Bill Perino, when he takes out that crappie rod, it's ultra light, it's 4-pound test, and I know he means business. He works wonders with a crappie jig, and a crappie jig is tiny. It's usually a little jig head with some kind of a hair trailer or even a plastic. And he throws it out and he always produces fish. And when you're fishing a little lure, don't think you're just going to catch little fish. Bill has caught monster walleye, largemouth bass, and pickerel by using a crappie jig. So when you're out on the water and the situations get really tough, use an ultralight rod and rig up a crappie jig and you'll see, they'll produce for you.
There we go. Now that's crappie. Working the weed line here drops into about 15 feet of water from 6 feet. There's a weed line here and there. They're hanging out onto that weed line. You want to let them go? Her? Try to catch some more. Nice. Once again, the little hair jig comes through, catching everything on this thing today. I think it's my last one, so I'm going to get this back. It's a little dental surgery. It's got 1,001 teeth in here, and I don't feel like getting any of them in me. Once again, on my little 16th ounce crappie jig. Pickerel. Nice size. Caught everything with this today. And there he goes.
throwing out an Aruku shad from Spro. It's a lipless crankbait. In the spring, they're really great to use. And he took it with him. Good thing I have more. Yeah. Oh. Here it is. Typical male bass on poplar, fishing Cranberry Lake. We're here with Eric, and Mike.
Real deal, Sal.
There it is. And we're gonna put this guy back. When you catch a bass in the spring, especially a male, you want to put him right back in the water so he could go back to that nest.
In 2012, The Real Deal added Eric and Mike Guerrero. They're part of the Real Deal Pro staff team, and they're excellent. These guys are avid anglers, and it's a pleasure to fish with them. They bring more expertise to the Real Deal, and they really help fill out our pro staff. Now, Eric's a fisherman in his own right on YouTube.com. He's Fishing Master 13. Check out some of his videos. And again, keep watching and catch him on The Real Deal.
And out in Cranberry Lake, catching fish on the Senko. Not too bad. Let this guy go.
Alright guys, better sized bass here on crappie tube. Grab it. There you go.
What were you doing to get him?
Using a little, I don't know, 2-inch blue and yellow crappie tube. Skipping it right against that rock wall right there. Solid pounder, maybe a pound and a quarter. Here we are, Cranberry Lake. Looks more like an ocean right now. You know, it left a little bit to be desired, but it was still fun to get out. My main approach today was to throw a tiny little crappie tube. That's a trout magnet on there. And that's what I got that bass on. I was catching some big perch, some crappie, and just that one bass. And then Rich and some of the other guys were throwing the pop-ar. You know that? Classic bait. Rich got a nice male on there protecting the bed. And we got some other hits throughout the day, but you know, it's slow, but you gotta get out there, guys. You definitely gotta go. It's you should be picking up, the bass are spawning, and you gotta get out. So keep it real, guys.
Spring fishing is very finicky. The fish could be hot or they could be cold. And you saw in this episode, we had bites a lot earlier in the day, and in the afternoon they just turned off. When they turn off, pack up the truck, and you get going home. So for this Real Deal, you can watch it on YouTube, public access, channel 76, Bergen County. So I'll see you out on the water. Keep it real.